Well, great start, great finish. Tough job in the middle.
Yeah, it was. It was. To be fair to them, they play on emotion, and if we let them have a sniff in the game, it's going to sort of be a lot tougher to come back on. And I thought our start was awesome. It was exactly how we wanted to come out of the sheds, and then we sort of just buttoned off a wee bit, which led to them coming back and playing really well. We know their breakdown's a big focus, and unfortunately through those middle periods, well, the majority of the game actually, probably if we're being honest, we got that a bit wrong, and we probably weren't quite clinical enough in there. So look, it's a young group, we came together well, and yeah, I guess at the end of the day we're going to walk away with 5 points, which was the goal coming here.
Yeah, absolutely. You can never turn down 5 points away from home, wherever you are, isn't it?
That's right.
Don't talk about. I won't turn around 5 points at home either, let alone away from home. So no, it was. Look, just to echo what Mikey talked about, I think that it had the familiar start to the Dragons game away from home, where we got a flyer and then it started, and then they wrestled the momentum back, and we gave ourselves too much to do. And I think that the growth in this team, and this, I mean, in the context of where we are, that win today and the nature of it is as important to us as what we did last week against Leicester and Montpellier for this group and where it is. And it's really important. We talked about these 3 games being cup finals, and it doesn't matter. I mean, yes, obviously 5 points is unbelievable, but to keep winning, to keep momentum, I think we've won a number of games on the spin now. And that gives you confidence in what you're doing. So I'm really delighted for the guys, and obviously we had some supporters travel a long way to be here, which is great. And we've kept momentum. We said we wanted to keep momentum, and we've managed to do that.
When you say, Toby, that this win is up there with like the wins over Leicester and Montpellier, on the surface, I guess you kind of ask why. Is that just because a young group finding a way to get a win?
I think the context of it, so a group learns a lot about itself, and when you play in a team you get rhythm, right, and you understand it, you get a lot of trust. But when you're thrown together, really, and let's be honest, this is a team that's been made up with a lot of people that have helped prepare the team and prepare the team very well, and it's a test of your squad depth. And I think the reason I say it's so important is because it gives them the belief and understanding of what it takes to be an Osprey, and what we take pride in. So from that point of view, it's massively important from a cultural point of view, for sure, and that's why I treasure it so much, because the culture of the group is so important. So that's why it's as important. I know on outcome, people will go, well, the prize at the end, but we're close now to that playoff positions. We've worked our way back up there, and we're a win away from that, I think, if I've just been told, but I'm not sure. But it means we're in touch. And ultimately this Six Nations period, if we can stay in touch and the cavalry come back, we could eke our way into those playoff spots. And as you've seen us on the road at Montpellier and Leicester, we're not too bad away from home. So that's why it's such an important win for us.
Mike, that game would have been lost 2 years ago. There's something happened within this group, as Toby said, culturally. How do you find it?
Yeah, obviously I've only been here a year and a bit now, but I think even since I first came, I think we are building, and I guess when you lose a lot of games on the bounce, you almost find a way to lose. You sort of forget how to win, and I think probably one of the blessings over the last month or two is I think we've got belief in the whole squad now that sort of once the chips are down, once it gets a wee bit tough in the middle periods, we sort of believe in our systems, believe in what Boothie and the other coaches have sort of set in place, that we can come back and we've got the game plan and the systems to win it. And yeah, it's an interesting mindset, momentum thing that you sort of study and whatnot. But yeah, I think the trick is to find ways to win games when you're not at your best and you don't play too well.
You seem to be a bit of the glue in the middle there, keeping them all together. And
I'm actually really Resley and X Factor.
Not letting things go away.
Is that backhanded?
When have you done that?
What was that, sorry, mate?
So I just saying, you seem to be the sort of glue in the middle there, keeping people believing and staying strong and getting the outcome you want.
Yeah, I think I guess probably the older you get, the more experience you sort of have been in situations like that before. And I think, yeah, we do have a young squad, but there's a hell of a lot of ability in it. And I guess the tricky thing is when when boys get first chances for a while, everyone probably gets a bit giddy and sort of wants to impact the game and sort of, you know, put their best foot forward for coaches for next selection and whatnot. And it's a really easy thing to do. I do it, and I probably still do it half the time. But I think for us and probably guys like Stevie and whatnot out there, I guess we try, control moments that each individual can impact the game, and sort of stick it all together. But I'm happy with how everyone responded tonight. It could have easily been lost, and we could have easily packed our cards in, because I think Zebre played really well.
It seems to be in the
Toby,
back
you
line
said,
to give the ball to Keelan.
Yeah, he's good at beating the first tackle, isn't he? But yeah, guys like that in space, they create stuff, and I think for us it's about getting the ball out to him more often than not.
So I let Matt get a question in. He's asked for 9 years. So.
I've tried a couple of times, third time lucky. You mentioned about, you know, this young group, Toby, but it was a couple of perhaps the old heads as well. Got you know, pulled out some big performances. You know, guys like
Mikey's,
Myler and
Mikey,
Bradley up front.
Yeah, Mikey's very modest, and you know he's brings a lot of glue, as you say, but you know also some key moments, and you know the spot tackle to shut down their attack and create a turnover to bring our scrum into the game. Those are big moments, as you say. Brad's contesting at the line out. They got nothing from the maul side of things. You know, we know we've got some good set piece forwards, and it's good to see that the next layer have got it. So Brad took control of that. Nicky Smith again, scrum time. Tommy both for scrum time. And as you say, the game, a lot of the game changed with the calming influence of Steve Myler. When Steve Myler comes on, and you know he's unfortunate, he's been injured so much, but you know you don't play as long and have such a distinguished career as he does if you don't know how to win. And ultimately he came on, and everyone looks to the quarterback for what we're going to do, and you know he used all of his experience and skill set, and it's great to have him out there. So yeah, I think you're right, and that's why the balance is great. And I'm pleased with, you know, we're only delivering 15 players and not 19 players to Wales.
Only the 15, yeah, quite modest. Talking of players, actually, can I just ask, is anyone, any of your injured guys on the, you know, likely to come back soonish?
Yeah. So Dan Lydiate is making good progress. He hasn't trained yet. Owen Watkin has started training, which is good for us. So those are two notable boys that will give us some strength in depth, and you know we're trying to we're obviously trying to beg, borrow and steal enough players that we can prepare well. So from that point of view, it is challenging, but as we say as we say to our internally, you know we'll find a way, because that's what we have to do.
Yeah, those two guys.
Centre, for God's sake, don't you?
Sorry, Rob.
Said you need a decent centre.
I'll be babysitting Waggo again next week.
well, you got he's coming
those
coming
two
back.
guys you mentioned there, Toby.
He's coming back. Mikey's still there, and the other four are all with Wales. So you know, we'll do what we can. Oh, actually, sorry. Don't forget Tom Florence, because he's obviously another one, but he's with the under-20s. Don't forget about those eight either.
Those eight, yeah. Those two guys you mentioned, Dan and Owen. Do you think, with the extra rest, do you think there's a chance of getting those out next time out?
So Munson's the next one in 3 weeks. So we're pretty confident Owen Watkin will be involved. Dan Lydiate, we don't know. To be honest, it depends on that. But Owen Watkin, yeah, we're confident he'll be around.
That's great timing.
So you've gone into Europe, breaking a 13-year rule. You're on the rise here. What, are you going to win the World Cup by the end of the year, or?
Yeah. Talk to you, Mike.
Yeah. Chance of it.
Well, you win a game that you could have lost tonight, and you know you've had the two great wins in Europe. I mean, nobody's going to want to play you, are they?
If we carry on doing those in the last 2 minutes, I'm not sure I want to play me. To be honest, I mean, I'm only 25. I know I look older, but I'm only 25. And actually, the TV quote asked me outside. You know, we're in the entertainment business, right? What we do is certainly entertaining. Look, we want it to be more straightforward, but the one thing that we talk about is priding ourselves in just never giving up and keep trying. You know, it took 92 minutes the week before. You know, it took, adversity of penalty and maul defence this week against Montpellier. It is we turn the ball over off a restart that we clean out, and then we have to, and George North gets a jackal in the court. So, no, we're certainly not doing it straightforward. from that point of view. And you know, it's often obviously, as you know, as a lifelong Man City supporter, it's very resemblant of Man City, really. So it's something I'm quite used to be fair. But I would like it to be more straightforward, as the boys would. But we can laugh and joke a bit when it's on the right side, and there's been times when we haven't. So we understand. We never take it for granted, and we are, you know, we're really pleased, obviously, to get the momentum in the URC as well as in Europe.
Great. Well, I was on the edge of the seat. My wife is snoring away in the corner.
I'm sure that's no reflection of you, Rob. I'm sure that's no reflection of you, mate.
It's a perfect Sunday.
We talked about Horlicks last week, didn't we? Last time.
Great.